Smileys Plastering, providing award-winning plastering and rendering services for over 25 years. I will handle everything from a small repair to a whole commercial building inside and out. Get a free quote day or night and every job gets a Smileys touch. Give us a call on 0417 730 926 or visit the website smileysplastering.com.au.
It's a little elephant. Oh yeah, nice.
Tom Craig, welcome to Hockey Zone, mate. It's great to see you got the servants working for you, bringing your coffee and tea and such likes.
Yeah, pleasure to be here.
Yeah.
Pleasure to be
Lord
served.
Craig, I believe we should term you. Tom, let's talk a little bit about your background and the New Zealand heritage. Tell us the story of your folks moving over.
Yeah, so folks are born and raised in New Zealand. Very much still passionate about their Kiwi heritage. And yeah, so moved over to Sydney just before my brother was born in 1993. So would have been maybe 91 or 92 they moved. So yeah.
But you never lived in New Zealand?
No, never lived in New Zealand. No, born in Camperdown in Sydney. So Sydney's very much in my blood and bones. Love the city. It's probably my favourite place in the world. So yeah.
It caused a little bit of an issue for you though. Although you were born in Australia, you had a New Zealand passport.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I always travelled on a New Zealand passport. Again, Dad pretty parochial in his Kiwi views. We just always had Kiwi passports, and yeah, the day before my debut, I produced a passport because we needed to. It was mandatory that you present your passport.
Where were you going?
Nowhere. It was just for the first test, yeah, against India, and it was the proof of citizenship. So yeah, anyway, and I've handed my New Zealand passport, which obviously caused a bit of an issue, and then yeah, had to scramble around trying to get an Australian passport before I could play.
You're a true Aussie now, though, is that right? Have you got the Australian passport?
I do have the Australian passport. Yeah, true Aussie.
We can't see the words Tom Craig without knowing that you came from the Ryde Hockey Club. So tell us the story of how you, from a staunch rugby background, get involved with hockey.
My brother and I played pretty much every sport you could think of growing up, as most Australian kids would. I remember begging Dad to let me play rugby, but Dad had a couple of concussions back in the day and wasn't overly keen on that prospect. But yeah, so we lived in Canada when I was quite young. I can't remember much about it, but Ben can, and remember watching all the ice hockey and supporting the Toronto Maple Leafs. And yeah, we were there for a year. And then we came back and Ben really wanted to play ice hockey because he loved it. And I had my Boston Bruins Guernsey and he had his Toronto Maple Leafs Guernsey. And Mum said, no, we can't play ice hockey until we try field hockey first. Because again, like the expense of all the gear and all that sort of thing. And a couple of 4-year-olds playing ice hockey, I don't know, clearly wasn't that attractive to her. But yeah, so yeah, we had to play field hockey and it just kind of stuck. Mum searched a couple of clubs to go and visit, called a couple of clubs. And then a few of them referred us to Ryde, saying that it was probably a closer club, so we should try there. So we started playing like Minkies with the current club president, who's a fantastic individual by the name of Maury Dawson. He's still, to my knowledge, coaching Minkies, as well as running an engineering firm and also being the club president, which is fantastic. And yeah, so just loved it. Thursday nights we'd go down and you'd try to hit a can of Coke from 20 yards away with a push pass, and like you'd always go to training wanting to do that or win your bag of Red Frogs. And then yeah, just kind of progressed through the ranks. So spent a couple of years in Minkies and then played under 11s for yeah, several years. Met a whole lot of lifelong friends through that. Managed to get most of our neighbourhood into hockey. So some of my best friends are from our Lane Cove, Chatswood area. And yeah, and they all ended up playing hockey for Ryde. So
when did you first bump into Tim and Larry?
Yeah, so Tim Collier was over in England for a while. So he was a legend of the club. I remember a guy called Campbell Clark saying that he was getting one-on-one lessons with TC back in, maybe he was under 15s or something, and that was the edge. If you got one-on-ones with TC, you were destined for greatness. And yeah, so I think TC came onto the scene for me. I think my debut for 3rd grade, I might have played with TC. And he just had the best skills, and then since then become pretty good friends, and he's been really supportive in everything. Always makes sure to send me messages before every game while I'm over here, and we touch base every couple of weeks just to make sure we're across each other's lives, I guess. And yeah, and then other individuals, John Cullen as well. As a junior, he was pretty insistent in pulling me into the line, which was really, really good and something that not many coaches might do. And then obviously Larry McIntosh played a big role through Swiss, and then his move over to Ryde has been fantastic. So yeah, love the club, love the people there. Welcome to the hub of the house. This is Flynn Ogilvy's place. This is with his sister Ailey. Flynn. And Savannah, you may recognise her from her role on last week's episode of Hockey Zone and other. No, nothing else.
Right, well, this leads beautifully into the question I was going to ask you, Tom. I've known you for a few years now, and you're a very funny guy. We've had a lot of laughs off the camera more often than not. What do you attribute that part of your personality to? And give us some of your favourite pranks. What have you done?
Honestly, it can't be either of my parents. So I don't really know. I'm sure most of my friends would probably assure you that I'm not very funny at all. But yeah, we love, I have fun doing like little videos and stuff. Like especially going away, it's a good way to pass the time, I reckon. Some good promos for Ryde, good promos for the Wong Brotherhood, which is our under-21s. Thanks.
So I've seen a few on YouTube. One of my favourites, which I can't find anymore, I'm thinking someone's trying to cover up this, was in the supermarket. Tell us that story.
Oh yeah, so that was the Derby Day between Ryde and Gordon, which is called Family Day. And yeah, Josh Gregory and I and a guy called Nick Banderack, good friend from the UK who was staying with us for a while, decided it'd be good to have a bit of a competition in a hockey centre, in a shopping centre, whereby we'd place objects into people's trolleys and you'd get a certain amount of points for how many times you
unbeknownst to the person that...
Yeah, exactly. So if they found out, then it was no points, etc. We ended up getting kicked out of the shopping centre, which was a bit of a shame. And they encouraged us. They said, yeah, it's great you're being creative, but not in our shopping centre, basically. So yeah, that was pretty fun. At the moment in the group, Matt Goads is a good one for a pun. Aaron Zalewski as well. It's a bit of a rivalry, I guess, between those two and between everyone else. Just see who can come up with probably the worst pun, I'd say, but that means they're probably the best pun.
Well, I reckon the girl behind you's in the running. She seems to have a great sense of humour and is always up for a joke.
Yeah. Always up for a joke, sense of humour.
Has she got you yet?
A couple of pranks, yep, here or there. She definitely keeps us all on our toes. But
what's your favourite Tom Craig story?
Yeah, it's not really actually that funny, so I don't have one.
Lord Craig, are you looking to be a judge at some point? Because I know that you're studying law.
Yeah, I don't know if my judgment is that good, basically. Yeah, I don't know. I'm studying law at Macquarie University. They've been very good, doing it by distance while I'm here in Perth, which is good. Hang on. Yeah, so I like law. It's fun, but it's a good outlet, I reckon. Like a balanced life, I think, is pretty important, especially doing a whole lot of hockey. I think as you get older, probably need to start looking after the rest of your life. So always want to do hockey, but if there is an opportunity to go for work experience or something like that, then yeah, I'd say that at this stage, I'd probably take that with two hands.
Alrighty, Tom Craig, it's quick question time. Let's start with the easies. Favourite colour?
Favourite colour? Ooh, green.
Favourite TV programme?
Orange is favourite colour. Favourite TV program, probably, I'm terrible at this. South Park?
Okay. Favourite movie?
Favourite movie, probably Dark Knight.
Now, we were just talking off camera. Favourite book or favourite author?
Favourite book? At the moment, I'm reading a lot of Agatha Christie. I love Hercule Poirot. He's a clever guy and deserves to have his life story told.
And it also proves that you can read.
Yeah, I hope so.
Favourite place in the world?
Favourite place in the world? Probably New Zealand.
Who's your role model?
Role model? Ooh, tough one. Probably the old man, Savannah, Flynn over there. They keep me grounded, keep me sane. Yeah.
Favourite celebrity or sports person?
Gonna have to say Richie McCaw.
Who is your worst ever roommate?
Probably gonna have to be Simon Orchard, just because he's really messy for a start and he snores a lot. Nice shirts though.
In the way of hockey, what's your goal?
I reckon one of the really attractive parts of the gig is just traveling to a whole bunch of places. So with that, try and make as many teams as possible so that I can travel, basically.
You'd be looking forward to a test against Canada in Canada?
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be really fun.
Where else would you like to go?
Europe again, playing in Europe against good teams with good crowds. Malaysia was really fun. New Zealand's a good tournament. Something in Asia, somewhere that you wouldn't ordinarily go, I'd say would be, yeah, ideal.
Tom, we like to finish these interviews with getting you to tell something about yourself that people wouldn't know. Now, Sav shared with us the other day that she's got one brown eye and one blue eye. Don't know whether you knew that. So, share something about yourself that most people wouldn't know.
I reckon the only thing that springs to mind would be I've had plastic surgery on my lip. I just thought they were a bit thin and I wanted to bolster them a bit. So. No, I was I was on the trampoline and then jumped and the day before my brother's birthday actually, and then split my lip where my teeth went through there. So, yeah.